Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be a quick video on what I take to the range with me. First and foremost, I just kind of want to get out of the way. This pack or range bag, whatever you want to call it, is set up just specifically for me. I know everybody does it a little bit different. I like simplistic. I don't feel the need to take 300 different things with me. Um, there's a couple of redundant things in here. It's just the way I do it. If you do it different, that's great. I'm happy for you. Whatever works, it's great. But this is just the way that I do it. If you guys have any suggestions of what I can put into there, I would greatly appreciate it. That would actually be kind of cool. Kind of get other people's input. But for right now, this is how I set up. I live about 3 minutes from the range, so um, kind of packing things up and running home isn't that much of a headache. It's kind of a headache, but it's not too bad. I can be home in 3 minutes. So starting off, what I think is one of the most important things, other than safety gear, is spare magazines. Because when you go to the range and you have a fully loaded magazine, which in these case might be made out of polymer, I take the cheaper magazines to the range with me, and after the more expensive ones are broken in, they just sit idle just in case I need them for like home defense or whatever the case. There is nothing quite like the sound of a fully loaded, either AR or AK, whatever you happen to have, magazine hitting the ground and the plastic breaking and all your rounds going everywhere. That's kind of a shitty feeling. So I use the cheaper magazines at the range. That's just what works for me. If you guys want to use more expensive magazines, by all means, but I've broken a few of them, and I really don't feel the need to go out and spend ridiculous amounts of money on more expensive magazines that I know are going to kind of get beat up at the range. So carrying on with that, just a cheap kind of no-name brand cleaning kit. I do have Tipton sending me one. I actually contacted them through Instagram, and they were gracious enough to send me some cleaning supplies, so that'll be showing up shortly, and I'll make sure to do a video on that for them. So that was extremely nice of them, and we'd like to say thank you. That was beyond cool. Uh, Carrying on, I got the Gerber Dime, just a little multi-tool. I'll flip this open real quick. I tend to pinch my fingers on this thing, but I've had it for a few years. As you can tell, I bought it new, and it's kind of out of whack, but it'll get the job done just for really, really small stuff, pulling splinters or whatever. If you need to grab something just out of the chamber, I've used it with my 22, just with the uh, little file flathead screw attachment on that. And it does have a pair of tweezers, which is very nice because anybody that shoots tends to get metal splinters every now and again, and I don't like those. They don't feel very pleasant. I'm an AR guy, so I do have a barrel nut wrench, kind of all in one. So this is just cheapo Amazon stuff. I bought kind of the cheapest one that I could get, just in case somebody with sticky fingers decided to pull it out of my bag. I'm out $13. It's not that big of a deal. That kind of thing just tends to happen every now and again, which sucks. Moving on, just a cheap bottle of gun oil. I don't really have any specific brand of choice when it comes to that stuff. That's just to, kind of help things out a little bit. Tend to run things a little bit on the dry side. Kind of on the opposite end of that, these are from some MREs that was sent to me. Just the packed up, I don't know what you want to call it, napkins, toilet tissue, whatever you want to call it, just from an MRE. They're good to have, wipe your hands off. I do have hand sanitizer out in the truck, so that's just kind of how I roll with that. This one is kind of weird. This is actually kind of like an all-in-one. It's got the NOAA stations, the many different ways to charge it. It's got batteries on the bottom, solar on the top, and then it's got a crank on the back, just a radio, and it does have USB ports to charge your phone. That's not so much for an emergency situation because I'm usually at the range. It's very close to my house, but it does have a flashlight just in case I need to look at something and my phone's either out in the truck or dead or whatever the case. And every now and again it gets very quiet at the range, so it's nice to have some music playing in the background. So it's just kind of one of those things. It was very cheap. Throw it in there. If it gets rained on, gets hurt, whatever happens, it's really not that big of a deal. I also carry one in my go bag as well. They're just nice to have. Moving on from that, we have, let's see which ones these are. I have 2 sets of the same, yeah, these have my name on it, so I'm not going to unfold these. But they are the automatic kind of listen in to your shots. I don't really know how to describe it. You turn them on, you can hear normally, it amplifies the sound around you, so it basically acts as if you don't have them on, and as soon as a gunshot goes off, they dampen all the sound so that you're not losing hearing and stuff, and they act as a normal pair of earmuffs at that point. So they are the Howard Light by Honeywell, and I actually happen to have 2 pairs of those, just in case I'm taking somebody to the range with me. On top of that, continuing with the hearing protection, I always have some of these in-ear squishy plugs, just in case somebody next to me is running like a 10-inch AR, something like that, 7.5-inch AR. Those are freaking loud, and I really don't like being next to them with minimal hearing protection. Even the over-ear headphones are sometimes not enough for anybody that's shot AR pistols or been next to somebody, especially indoors. Shooting an AR pistol, you would definitely agree that it's not the most pleasant thing in the world to be next to, even with the proper hearing protection. Your sinuses tend to drain, so we'll leave it at that. Moving forward, just with targets and stuff, I do have some nicer targets that are not in the bag, so they're not included, but I do have these small shoot and see targets. I have these silhouettes, as well as those, and just some old, a little bit beat up. Actually, I have some in here that have been shot, so I need to go through these. So, just some other shoot and see targets. Those are kind of what I prefer. Everybody's different, which is cool. On top of that, always have another cable lock, just as a spare. You know, your laws and rules might be a little bit different, so I like to have a spare one of those. If I give it away, you know, to somebody who can't find theirs, or theirs broke, or whatever the case may be, it's fine. I do have others that I carry in the truck with me. It's just a nice thing to have. Those cable locks seem to be a dime a dozen. You can find them pretty much anywhere anyway, so if I lose one, not a big deal. On top of that, a bore snake, kind of going with the theme of cleaning. And for people who haven't seen it, this one's very, very old, so it's all tangled up and kind of ooky and gooky. If anybody has any kind of tip on how to clean a bore snake itself, whether or not to run it through the wash or put it in some hot soapy water, whatever, let me know down in the comments. I've actually never cleaned this before, and I'm not sure what actually to do as far as cleaning that goes. So let me put all this stuff back in here. Like I said, there's really no order or rhyme or reason to anything that's in there. It's just the way I carry things. And should probably do it a little bit different, kind of with the shoot and see targets, because as you saw, they get a little bit messed up, but that's okay. Go over that a different date. Pack everything back in there. Magazines are not going in. These zippers, man, they're hefty, but they're difficult. Just meet in the middle right there. So we're going to flip this back around. On the back is an improved first aid kit. I kind of added onto that just with, get it unbuckled here, just with another tourniquet on top. This one is not staged, neither is the one in there. Just kind of the way I run them. I know they should be staged, and that's one of the things kind of on my list of things to do. The one inside the improved first aid kit, we'll actually open that up and show you guys what's in it. Does not have the pen, so I made sure to get one with a pen, just so you can write, you know, the time that you put that on and just help in any way that you can. So, pull that off. This is actually Molly on the back, so it's attached through there. I've had a couple of people at the range ask if those were like 12 gauge shotgun shell holders, which is pretty damn funny. So, open this up here. A lot of Velcro on these things. Show you guys inside here. So you got another tourniquet in there. I don't want to really take anything out. You get a pair of gloves, gauze, Israeli bandages, band-aids, stuff like that. You got your scissors. And I've actually never noticed this before back here. Let's pull this out real quick and just kind of see what it is. Let's put everything kind of off to the side real quick. Yep, another is emergency bandage. It's got your instructions on the back end there. It's all vacuum packed. So you can see where there's actually a provision for a pen in this other tourniquet, and I believe they're actually the same manufacturer. I don't want to go open this thing up though. So can't hurt to be too safe. Definitely want to have good safety in mind. You know, things tend to happen in the blink of an eye, and this is not even so much for range safety. I actually bought a few of these, and I keep one out in my truck. I have one in my go bag and another one actually for the house, and they're just decent to have. You know, you never know what's going to happen. If you're out mowing the lawn, you get stung by a bee or something like that, or maybe a bad example. You know, life tends to throw stuff at you. You never really know what's going to happen. So you could be out driving and witness an accident, and somebody needs to be taken care of. They need a bandage. They got hit in the head or something like that, or they have a really bad wound to their arm. And if you know how to use one of these, which is definitely something I recommend to everyone, you can kind of help them out until the paramedics arrive. Luckily, where I live is not too isolated, so paramedics will be there, you know, in a few minutes. If anything bad happens, God forbid. So we're going to put this back on there. What I do is I just put that right on the top. And just buckle that in. It's nice and tight. Not going to be able to pull that off with any kind of real ease. Flip this back around where we were. You can see I got my Firearms Policy Coalition patch on the front there. Pretty sure I don't have anything in this front pouch, rather, not patch. Nope, nothing in there. So that's about it. That's really all I carry to the range. I know some people that actually have rigid toolboxes and Ryobi toolboxes, whatever you want to call them, that carry a lot more stuff than that, but they also travel a lot farther to the range, and they do a little bit different shooting than I do. I just like to go and just kind of fart around, fuck around, and, you know, plink and have fun. These people are a little more serious. They're into some long-range shooting, or they're testing out guns for hunting, you know, which I don't really do to speak of. So that's going to be it for this video. That's basically all I have for you. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know where I can expand on this and what you think I should take away, what you think I should add. And we'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate it. Thanks.